Welcome back, brother. This is an honest review of peptides from someone who doesn't sell them. You've probably seen peptides plastered all over the place. 2 years ago, I did a peptide stack that I learned from Andrew Huberman. I got in one of the most dialed and ripped physiques I've ever gotten in my life, and then I stopped taking them. Now, there's reasons for that I'm going to go into in this video. And then this was me 2 or 3 days ago. This is a natural physique, fully natural, no TRT, no anabolic steroids, no peptides for 2 years. This is what I built up into, and I've now just begun a brand new peptide stack in 2026, and I'm going to run you through that and why I decided to do it again. Now, a lot of you are going to go, this is impossible natural. You've been taking 200 milligrams of TRT per week. As I hear all the time from people, there will be another video part to this where I go through my full blood work in December, my full blood work now, and give you whatever variables you need to see that I'm natural, that my testosterone is actually naturally high. There'll be another video on my daily supplement stack and how I boost my test. But for now, let's go into peptides. What the fuck are they? Should you take them? Should you not take them? What's the deal with this? Now, before we go any further, it's very important that I say I'm not a doctor, in case you didn't notice. I am an individual experimenting on myself. Everything in this video is based on my personal experience only. I'm not a doctor, medical professional, qualified healthcare provider. Peptides are not approved by the FDA or most regulatory bodies for human use. Individual responses may vary significantly. What works for me may not work for you and could affect you differently. Many peptides mentioned are on the WADA prohibited list and banned in competitive sport. Never begin any peptide protocol without consulting a qualified medical professional first. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do your own research, make your own informed decisions, talk to a doctor. My peptides are doctor prescribed, high quality, and I do regular blood work. Just before we get into this isn't something we just fuck around with, just order random shit online and play with our bodies. It can have big, dangerous risks, but I will give you all the info that I've gathered and what I found personally to be the case with peptides. So, number one, let's put our science hats on for a minute and let's let you guys know what peptides actually are. Some of you will find this incredibly simple and you'll be like, yeah, I already knew that, Jack. Some of you will have no idea how these things work. So what are peptides? Peptides fall into the middle category between supplements and synthetic hormones. So this is an effectiveness chart. As we go down the pyramid and as the pyramid widens, we increase effectiveness, but we also increase risk and side effects. Now, supplements are your base level. Needed in some ways, not needed in others. Like, you can get by without them and you can get some pretty marginal gains by adding in a simple supplement stack. Things like vitamin D, creatine, ashwagandha, magnesium. Normal effectiveness, nothing crazy, and very low risk. Still some risk with anything you put into your body. There's still some risk. It's not 100% natural stuff that we regularly would have put in our bodies hundreds of years ago, but pretty low risk. I've never had really too many issues or side effects from using just baseline supplements. And then everybody kind of knows and puts peptides in this bracket, synthetic hormones. This is your anabolic steroids, your SARMs. I actually put SARMs in this category rather than in sort of the middle category because I've never done SARMs, but I've seen some pretty bad horror stories on SARMs. TRT, HGH, these are hormones that you are putting into your body that are not made by yourself. And then that brings us to peptides. Peptides are branched-chain amino acids, and they increase the natural function of your body. So peptides signal to your body to do more of what it's already done. Medium effectiveness, but medium to high risk, because these things are still fairly new. So that's your kind of middle line. Now, the good thing about peptides is, especially when I took them before, you can take them and then you can stop taking them, and there was no real effects to me. There was no like depression or coming down off them or seeing any crazy side effects or anything like that. So you don't get the massive growth that you would get on anabolic steroids or taking TRT or HGH, but you've got kind of a middle ground here. And that's where I believe peptides fit, is the gray area between supplements and synthetic hormones. Now, how do they actually work? A short chain of amino acids, maybe they're not branched chain amino acids, that could be me misspeaking. They act as messengers, telling your body to repair faster, sleep deeper, release more growth hormone. They're not synthetic hormones. They are instructions to your own system. Think of them as turning the volume up on processes that are already happening. Now, what peptides did I take 2 years ago, and a little bit of a background to my training history, a bit of an education for you on why I originally took them. So I've been training for around 14 years now in the gym fairly consistently. This was me after 4 years of training at 18 years old, 100% natural, creatine and some vitamin D was what I was taking back then. This is me at 18 years old. I've been doing competitive sport and push-ups and sit-ups and calisthenics since I was 5 years old. That's what my dad asked me to do. Whenever I was like at a family occasion, my dad would be like, drop down and give me 50. And I'll give him 50. I said, Dad, you happy with that? And he'd say, yeah, you're the best, son. And I'll go, thanks, Dad. So that was always trained into me. I've always loved training. I've always run. I was very lucky to be raised that way. And for that reason, I think I've crafted a physique that is what most people would look at and say quite hard to achieve without taking steroids. But it's been a lot of training that has gone into this. I was 24 the first time I ever took any injectable peptide. And the peptides I took were BPC 157, TB 500, tesamorelin, and I also experimented with a peptide called MK677. This is called the Wolverine stack. There's a lot without the MK. This stack here is the Wolverine stack, and it was something I heard about on Andrew Huberman's podcast. And I had been training a long time. This is where my physique had kind of got to naturally. When I was 23 and I was in Thailand, I had pretty much everything dialed. And I thought, I want to train harder. I want to train faster. I want to train more. Let me try some of this stuff. And they worked for two reasons, I think. So number one, your mindset. So these are injectables, subcutaneous injections. You inject them in the little bit of belly fat you have around your abs. And that mindset of waking up each day and putting injections into your body, that's pretty fucking hardcore, in my opinion, makes you train harder, like just as a placebo. It's like, I'm taking this stuff, I'm going to take it serious, I don't want to waste it. So it worked for that reason. And I also found that this stack worked for recovery. I could train twice a day and I was getting no muscle soreness the next day, so I could train again. We know that muscle is built through tear and repair. The more you can tear and the more you can repair, the faster your muscle is going to grow. So that's what the peptides allow me to do. And I ran them for about 2 months and I got this really sick fucking physique. Very lean, very big. Now, this is a little breakdown of what each of these peptides do. If you're going to look at any of them, obviously do your own research and you can go a lot deeper. But I ended up stopping this after 2 months. And you might think, Jack, that's crazy. You were in this kind of shape. Why did you stop? And there's a few reasons. Number one, injecting yourself 3 times a day. All 3 of these I did as injections. You can take BPC 157 as a pill format. That seems to work well. These you can't. And MK was a pill format. But I took these 3 as injections and then the pill format of MK677. And injecting yourself 3 times a day is a pain in the ass, especially if you travel a lot. You've got to take these things. You don't know if they're allowed in certain countries. You need to make sure you've got your doctor's note. And that can become a bit of a hassle. And also, I really don't like needles. So I was I was always like getting anxious and shit every day, injecting myself. And I just didn't like it. And I thought these have given me a good chance to train heavily. I've got a really sick physique from it. And the big caveat of it was I was starting to get really fucking angry. The MK677 increased appetite, significant size gains. A lot of that came from the MK and the amount I was eating. The MK also made me, and this is why they have different side effects for different people, MK made me really, really angry. Every day I just wake up furiously angry. And I could use that in the gym, but all in all, it was actually pretty destructive. So I just decided to go cold turkey on all 4 of these peptides and stop using them. I kept a relative amount of the size. I kept a relative amount of the leanness for quite a while after, and I didn't really feel any issues other than I couldn't recover quite as fast. So that was what I took 2 years ago, and that was the reason why I stopped. I got angry, I got frustrated with injecting every day, and also the cost is inconvenient. This kind of stack can run you anywhere, depending on the quality, from $500 a month to $1,000 a month. It's quite a lot of money to spend on supplements if you're traveling, for getting them, that kind of stuff. So I just thought the juice is not worth the squeeze. I was also still drinking at the time, alcohol, like there was other areas of my training I wasn't taking serious, and this kind of stuff is for someone who's training serious. That brings me to 2026. Now, 2 years without peptides, without taking anything or putting anything unnatural into my body other than your sort of regular supplements. I had a boxing fight last year, 2025, end of 2025. You guys saw how that played out on the fucking channel. That was a bit of a rough one for me. I trained super, super hard for a fight, had multiple opponents drop out. And then I ended up being put against an opponent who had been predictedly paid to lose, it felt like, in the fight, and got a lot of backlash for that, and didn't fucking pay the guy to lose myself. I had no idea, but I felt it as well. And I was really down about that. Like, that was worse to me than losing. Like, you put all this effort in for months, you don't get the payoff of a real win because it didn't feel like a victory to me. I thought I could have beat the guy anyway if he had fought me hard. And I was pretty down in the dumps. So I started drinking a lot over Christmas, was a little bit cut up about it, and not making too many videos, and a little bit down over the Christmas period. So I was drinking a lot of alcohol. My physique kind of got a little bit puffy, and I was in a pretty bad shape for what my standard for myself is. And so at the start of this year, I was like, Jack, doesn't matter what's happened. Let's turn it around. Let's turn pro this year. Let's give up alcohol. Let's get back into training as hard as we can. I picked up quite a few injuries boxing as well. Hopefully you can see this video.
Oh, no, I can't do it.
No? What about some leg raises for abs?
Let me see if I can do under. Oh, no, I've got... But I tried my best.
All right, good work. Well, that's a good reel anyway. Just post that as a raw reel.
So that's me trying to do pull-ups at the end of last year. After my boxing, I tore my rotator cuff quite badly, big issues in my hands, both hands, and had quite a few injuries that I was down about. And obviously can't even do a pull-up. I'm the kind of guy that can do 20, 30 pull-ups, and I've since rehabbed and trained that. But in 2026, I decided to turn pro. If you listen to my audio-only podcast, it's linked underneath. I did a full audio-only you can listen to about the elements of turning pro, turning up in every area of your life, the content creation, the gym, the nutrition, and really being a professional. So I took myself from this to currently, this was about a week ago now, to this physique just through cutting alcohol, eating the right things, training hard. Now, what I found is that this shoulder injury is still niggling me. Even at this physique, I can do pull-ups now, but it's still niggling me. My videographer, content director, Max, who lives in the house with me, has been training with me, getting great results and fixing his injuries by using a few peptides. And I've been off the peptides. And he's just been training harder, longer, faster than me. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not recovering in the same way. Even though I've got rid of alcohol, all bad diet, I'm dialed in my sleep, everything. I've kind of reached that upper limit of what is possible without a little extra help. So 3 days ago, I started a new stack of peptides because of taking everything very serious. I thought in the past in my life, I've put very dangerous chemicals into my body. Sure, it doesn't take too much imagination to wonder what that is. One of them being alcohol. I would pay and put alcohol into my body with a lot of risks, very bad for the body. Why would I not pay and speak to a doctor and get some chemicals into my body that could improve my physique, that could help me with injuries, that could make me recover faster? If I'm willing to take the risk to party for hedonism, why would I not be willing to take a little bit of risk to get a better physique because it's something I'm so passionate about? So I decided to take a new stack, and that was the reason why. Saw a doctor and got this stack. Slightly different to my original. I got rid of the MK677 from 2 years ago because of the anger issues, and I've started taking BPC 157 for recovery and injury repair, ipamorelin plus sermorelin for a GH pulse morning and night, increases your natural growth hormone, which is going to help you repair faster. I started taking a brand new supplement I've never taken before, brand new peptide, DSIP, Delta Wave Sleep Architecture peptide. This is for increasing your delta wave sleep, for making you sleep longer, deeper, because that is where testosterone's made, that's where the body repairs, and it's something that I've struggled with. And this DSIP is meant to calm you down, it's meant to make you sleep better, and that's something I've really been looking for, because everything is built during that sleep window, including your own body's hormones. And then GHKCU, collagen, skin quality, and follicle stimulation. As you can see, I'm 27 years old. I don't have a fucking beard yet. I would like one, just to try, please. This apparently can have some effects of doing that. It also really helps your skin, makes your skin look clear, increase collagen production, gets rid of any fine lines and wrinkles, tightens the jawline. I read the description of this. I had a couple friends taking it and they looked way better, thicker hair, better skin. And I thought, yes, you know what? I will take that as well. So this is the new stack. I'm 3 days in, okay? This is not something I've been taking a long time. I do not know the long-term risks of this. I only know my current side effects, the side effects that are told to you when you use this stuff. And I also know the effect from the last 3 days. So day by day so far, and I will do another video in 30 days, letting you guys know exactly where I'm at. Day 1, woke up after taking the stack on the first night, noticeably leaner. I went for a massive piss in the morning for like, I'm not kidding, 5 minutes. And I didn't drink a shit ton of water before. I don't know what it was from the stack. I took it all. I don't know what it was from the stack, but something took the water out of me and I pissed it out in the morning. And I was noticeably leaner, very, very dialed. This is actually that gym session. This is the morning after. So this is what I looked like in that session. I felt very good that first morning. I felt happy. I actually felt really happy. I don't mean quite dark in the morning. I don't know if it's placebo or what, but I felt pretty happy in the morning. Vivid dreams, mood elevated. I wanted to socialize in the morning. So that was day 1. Day 2, Sunday, meant to be rest day, broke a 10K record. I'm not the fastest runner in the world. I don't really run that much, and if I do, it's short distance. I did a 10K in under an hour. I couldn't do that when I was training for my boxing. Again, could be placebo. I don't know. Probably is, but just another thing to mention. And then day 3, today, woke up thinking about the gym, raring to go to the gym. Lean from the night before, even though I had a massive meal. I still look, I think, very, very diced. Skin looks clear, skin looks relatively smooth and lean. No grogginess in the morning, and I'm sitting down and making videos, which can sometimes be tough. 3 days, 3 data points, all positive so far. The GHKCU, I had minor stinging and irritation from the injection site. All the others absolutely fine. It's not noticeable enough to make me not take it, but I'm just letting you know that is something that I've experienced. You're probably watching this, you're thinking, oh, this stuff sounds great. These are some of the potential risks that I am knowingly taking, and you should know about too. For starters, the long-term side effects of this specific stack, most peptides are unknown. Could be good, could be super fucking bad. I don't know, willing to gamble, very risk averse. I like taking risks in the name of science. Cancer. Increased GH and BPC could also increase the growth of tumors. If you're recovering and growing your muscles, you can also grow tumors. I have my blood work done regularly and I check my cancer risk, my cancer profile from the hormones in my blood. Acne, I've heard, can potentially cause acne. That would be terrible if it causes that for me. Nausea, headaches, infection. Okay, these are some of the known side effects. Currently, I'm feeling none. I feel absolutely fine, but worth knowing. So, what do I like about peptides? Once you cross the line into TRT or synthetic hormones, it's very hard to return. And I think about this all the time. Like, I've never done them, and I think about steroids probably every single day because I think, wow, I've created an incredible natural physique. I could maybe be a monster on this stuff. Then I look at the potential risks. Risk of death. The fact that I could probably never come off TRT once I'm on it. What if I was somewhere I couldn't get it and I now don't have testosterone in my body? The fact that you might get depressed afterwards. All too big of a risk for me to want to take. So I like the fact that peptides allow enhanced performance by increasing your natural production. And I've not noticed bad side effects 2 years ago when I came off them. I felt like the same person. I didn't have a big deal. What I dislike, daily injections, the cost, my current stack's about $800 a month. But still, if I don't drink alcohol, it wouldn't be totally crazy to spend $800 in a month on alcohol for me. That's like less than 1 table a month if you go out to a decent club. And there's also a risk with the gray market. Less so for me because I know the quality that I'm getting them from. But for somebody that's looking at them, maybe wants them for cheap, you might order something online and just not know what's in there. That's a very dangerous and real risk that you really want to mitigate if you do decide to do this stuff. Conclusion as of now, in 30 days, we'll do a video with the results from what I'm currently doing. This is what I think for myself. So do everything you can naturally first. If you're somebody that hasn't got your sleep dialed, you've never trained, you're not going to the gym regularly, there's so much that you can do to fix your physique already. Do that first, because this is the kind of stuff that's going to give you marginal difference, 10 to 20% extra recovery and improvement. And that's the kind of difference you want when you've maybe capped out or started to reach some of your human potential. That's what you want to add then. if you are going to do this as a shortcut and you start injecting this stuff to think, oh, it's going to make everything easier, I think you're going to be disappointed for one, and you're not going to get results. This is like small marginal impacts. This is not the same as if you were to inject Anavar or Debol or Tren, these very anabolic steroids. So just remember that. And I'm not telling you to do them or not do them. This is just my personal opinion. In reality, most people don't sleep well enough, don't train hard enough, don't eat correct, still drink alcohol and indulge in bad habits. If you're doing any of these, they all have to go before you even look at this stuff, in my opinion. I trained naturally for over 10 years without touching anything and got a very, very good physique. They are simply not needed to reach a great physique. They're not. You don't need them at all. You don't need supplements at all to reach a great physique. They're marginal impacts, tiny percentages that you can add on. For those who have fully dialed everything in, are ready, can afford them comfortably from a quality source, get a doctor, do blood work regularly, they can offer a 10 to 20% that may not be achievable naturally, that you might want. And you should take them absolutely at your own risk, knowing that this stuff is not 100% safe. So that is my current conclusion as of now. So hopefully, for any of you that have just seen this peptide world, one bonus tip in 1 second. For any of you that have seen this peptide world, you've seen them blowing up on the internet. I would recommend you're incredibly careful because a lot of people sell them. I do not sell them. Look at my links underneath. I'm not asking you to buy them. I'm not telling you to go anywhere. I don't sell peptides. I spend a lot of money on them. So I'm talking at you completely honestly just about my experience and what I currently know, my limited experience as a 27-year-old experimenting with this stuff. Be very careful of who you listen to because some people have affiliates with or are selling their own peptides, in which case there's a bit of a clash of interest there. They're going to tell you the good without the bad. I would also be incredibly careful of a peptide called retatrutide, which seems to be all over the internet right now. This is the bonus tip. Reta is an appetite suppressant, as far as I've seen. That's dangerous. You don't want to suppress your appetite because you need fuel to power and grow your body. I don't think messing unnaturally with the body's appetite system, the drive for food, is a very good idea. With any of these, Ozempic, retatrutide, being lean is a very simple equation. It's calories in versus calories out. I suggest you control that yourself. I would not mess with that. If you are super fat right now, you know what you need to do, and it's not put any food in your mouth. You can live there's a guy that lived for over a year without eating a single bit of solid food, just drinking like teas, vitamin drinks, and water. And he lost, I think it was 214 kg, and he ended the year at 80 kg. You will live off the fat and the stored nutrients your body has from being fat. So I'll just give an extra warning on retatrutide. I've never taken it, but I've heard some pretty bad experiences, and I don't think messing with the body's foods and appetite sources is a good idea. But there you go, guys. A bit of information for you on that. Some more videos coming soon. I'm going to go through my daily supplement stack for anyone that doesn't want to do, or because most of you absolutely shouldn't. For anyone who's just interested in supplements, things that are super safe, you can get on Amazon. There's a video coming this week on Wednesday about that, which you can watch. And then this Friday, I think we'll have a training video. So a bit of a week of fitness and health this week to give you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-ow!